My name is Charles Weeks, and today I'll be presenting to you about expanding a piece of the market. By piece, I mean piece T. On today's agenda, I'm going to talk about the purpose of this report, certain details that have contributed to the recent decline in piece T, the competitive analysis of rival companies, the fan analysis, the visibility analysis, and then I'm going to do a post analysis about the engagement and whatnot. And then piece of advice at the end. Going to do recommendations, let them know what I think they should be doing. The purpose of this report. So overall, I want to provide insight to you about piece T's fan base. They cater to a wide variety of individuals, so I'd like to try to scope in on that just a little bit. I'd like to identify the target market and compare it with the actual market, so they have an idea of what they'd like to cater to, and we'll see if it backs it up, if what they're trying to do is actually getting to the target market of their appeal, I should say. I also like to discuss piece T's social angle and what the company's message stands for. I know a big thing about them is share a piece, and I'll get into that more later. And then later on, I'll suggest possible methods on potentially to grow the brand's name, maybe. If not, just help them revitalize their social media platforms. Piece T's decline. One of the big things that's been happening recently is there's been a lot of negative feedback on their Facebook, and that's simply because whenever they came out with a change in design on their can, everyone was very excited. People were hyped up about it. There was a big push for the new cans, the new designs and whatnot. And not only they were designed by fans and through a competition and whatnot, so these new cans were put out. And what piece T didn't mention is that they had also changed the formula. And whenever they did this, a lot of people strayed away from the brand, because when they changed the formula, they started adding artificial flavors and whatnot. And one of their big things when they first got started was that they were all natural, and each drink was only 50 calories. And then not only with this, that's been a big thing, especially on Facebook, there's been negative reviews. However, on Instagram, engagement has been very popular, and I believe that could be due to the fact that Instagram is more of an image-based platform, so the new cans is really appealing to the eye. So, but yeah. And then the competitive analysis. So here we see their rival company, Arizona Iced Tea, has more engagement than piece T or Lipton. Lipton, as you might know, is a very common household name. They deal more in tea bags, but they do have pre-made drinks that are sold individually and in cases and whatnot. But if you look on the graph to the right, you'll see piece T's percentage of engagement is actually a lot more. Now, this is only from one post from the last week, and as you can see, piece T has much higher percentage and fan engagement. That's simply due because piece T has less followers, so with more fan engagement, it's just a bigger percentage. Alright, so now we're going on to the fan analysis. So in their marketing plan, I know they talked about their age range. They were catering to 18 to 35 year olds, pretty much teens to adults in their middle ages. Gender and ethnicity isn't like a standard for them, because it's whatever you want it to be. It caters to everybody. It's more designed for people that are social and live a busy life. They're always on the go. They don't really have time to stop and maybe cook for themselves and drink the right drinks, and so whenever they want a sugary drink, they will go to this can, to the piece T's, and they would enjoy a more healthy alternative. So that's also part of the bullet here, saying trying to find healthy alternatives. And then it also caters to younger people and a more hip generation. This is due a lot of people have been trying to find a way to express themselves, and a lot of people, the company wants the fans to be able to feel like they can express themselves however they want. And so the big poppy eye appealing cans is one way they can do that. And then it's also open to new experiences, because I know later I'll talk about how at certain bars they've started promoting their item there, and by doing that they've come up with a few alcoholic beverage mixes that they were trying out in certain clubs. Alright, so the visibility analysis, pretty much Peace Tea's idea was to back various artists and musicians at certain festivals. I know back in 2009, I believe, they were every month in downtown LA they would have a music or an art festival, and it was just like it was a monthly thing. They would have stands out, tents and whatnot. People could come try their drinks, and then like I said, clubs were and trying to get involved with the drink, and Peace Tea was very adamant about trying to back that. So the drink made a few appearances, and then convenience stores like 7-Eleven and Walgreens are beginning to carry their products, and now it's actually grown even bigger. You can find it at places like Walmart and even smaller convenience stores in like small towns. The brand has grown. However, their media, their posting and whatnot has declined, and then customer base has declined slightly because of the drink change, the formula change. The brand Peace Tea, however, like I said, caters to everyone, and that's part of the share of peace. They want you to do one good deed a day, whether doesn't matter what it needs to be, as long as you feel like you've done something good in the day. You're sharing peace. You're sharing peace of mind. Like, everyone should be happy and whatnot. So now their post analysis. This part it gets a little negative. They very, very rarely post. On Instagram, that's definitely their main platform. They post about once a week or so. They get really good engagement on there. However, on Facebook, they haven't made a post since 2014. However, they are receiving a lot of negative feedback about the drink change and how people want to go back. But they do have the occasional person that compliments it, and they really like the new drinks, and these are the people that aren't so much caring for the nutritional value of the drink, but more the flavor, and they like the new appealing cans. Their Twitter profile also has been very inactive. I feel like they could do a lot more with that. They could really probably end up backing more people. They could hold more events, get word of those events out in a more efficient way. So I feel like they really just need to up their game on all platforms, to be honest. And now this is a distribution and fan insights. On the left here you have a graph of the fan demographic. It's a US based company and they're slowly trying to expand their way and broaden their market. And as you can see, United States is obviously the largest because it started here, and it is branching into Mexico and Canada a little bit. Overseas, not quite as much, but it is there. And then on the right, you see where it's actually purchased the most. So you can see on the top, some clubs have gotten into it. A lot of dollar stores and convenience stores, as you see, gas and convenience, and the dollar stores are very popular about it. Certain food places, that would be your grocery stores, your Walmarts and whatnot. So and then every now and then you see the drug stores, your pharmacies, your Walgreens and whatnot. And now in this part, I'm going to try to offer a little bit of advice if I can, and try to really give them some feedback on what they could be doing better. So obviously they need to increase their post frequency. They're not doing enough. They're being lazy. I don't know, because like I know back in 2014 and previous, whenever they came out in 2009, they were very active. They were very engaged with their fans, and it seemed like they were doing well, and they just dropped off. And something I feel like they could do is share fan feedback. Like, I know Instagram's already going good, but on Facebook you need to share the good feedback, and they should probably utilize paid advertising. And then listen to the fans. I don't know, maybe they could go back and release a throwback drink, or I don't know if it would be more in their interest to change the formula back to the way it was completely. But they need to listen to their fans, and they need to engage with their fans. They seem to stray away from the negative comments and don't get into that conversation. They don't engage with it. And they really need to focus also on engaging their total reach, because they can only do so much through Instagram. They need to utilize Facebook. They need to utilize Twitter. They need to get their name out there more. And then if they are to continue using this this new recipe, this most recent recipe they've been using, they need to change their marketing plan. Well, maybe not their whole plan, but the strategy, because the drink is not the same. It's not the same low calorie, all natural drink. It now has preservatives and artificial flavors and whatnot. So they need to change that and actually make that a more known fact, so people don't feel like they're getting falsely advertised products and whatnot. So I feel like there's just a few pieces of advice I could give them. I hope this was very insightful, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.